Today, we are diving deep into a super powerful productivity method. You've probably heard of it. It's called the Pomodoro Technique, and it's all about helping you work smarter, not harder. All right, let's just be honest for a second. Do you ever just stare at your to-do list and feel completely, totally overwhelmed? Like you have so much to do, you can't even figure out where to start and, everything's a distraction? Well, what if I told you the solution isn't some fancy new app or an expensive course from a productivity guru? What if it's something as simple, as kind of old school, as a kitchen timer? I know, it sounds a little too simple to be real, but just stick with me here. So what in the world is a Pomodoro? And why is this whole thing named after a tomato? Let's get into the story behind this awesome little technique. Okay, so at its heart, the Pomodoro Technique is incredibly simple. It's just a way to manage your time by breaking down your work into these focused 25-minute sprints. And in between those sprints, you take short breaks. Each one of those 25-minute work blocks, that's a Pomodoro. The story of how this all started is actually pretty cool. Picture this. It's the late 1980s, and this university student, Francesco Cirillo, is really struggling to focus on his studies. We've all been there, right? So in this moment of just total frustration, he makes a bet with himself. Can he actually focus, like truly focus, for just 10 minutes? So what does he do? He grabs the only timer he can find, which happens to be a kitchen timer shaped like a tomato, Pomodoro, in Italian. And the rest, as they say, is history. He played around with different times and eventually found that 25 minutes was the absolute sweet spot for staying focused without getting totally burned out. Okay, so this story is great, but how do you actually do it? Let's get into the practical, step-by-step guide so you can see how this simple idea can build into a really powerful habit. All right, let's break down the cycle. It's a super simple, repeatable rhythm. First, you pick one task, just one. You set a timer for 25 minutes, and you work on that thing with zero interruptions. No email, no phone, nothing. When that timer rings, you have to take a 5-minute break. Seriously, get up, stretch, grab some water, just get away from your desk. You do this whole cycle 4 times. And after that 4th Pomodoro, boom, you've earned yourself a longer break. Maybe 15, maybe 30 minutes, to really just reset your brain before you dive back in. I know what you're thinking. That sounds way too simple to actually work, right? Just work for 25 minutes and take a break. But there's some really powerful psychology going on under the hood here that explains why this is so dang effective for so many people. So the first big reason this works, it's basically a kryptonite for multitasking. Our brains, they're not built to juggle a bunch of different things at once. When we think we're multitasking, we're really just switching our focus back and forth really fast. And that just kills our efficiency and leads to more mistakes. And that's the magic right there. When you dedicate a solid 25-minute block to one single task, you're giving your brain the room it needs to get into a deep state of focus. And the result? The quality of your work goes way up, and you stop making all those little, silly mistakes that happen when your mind is scattered all over the place. The Pomodoro Technique basically helps you find your single-tasking superpower again. And oh boy, here's a big one we can all relate to: procrastination. We all put off those huge, scary tasks because even just the thought of starting them is completely overwhelming. Well, the Pomodoro Technique is like the perfect little psychological hack to get around that. This right here is the secret sauce. The idea of writing a whole 20-page paper, that's terrifying. But working on it for just 25 minutes? Come on, anybody can do that. It's a little mind trick you play on yourself to just get started. And we all know getting started is always the hardest part. Once you're in it, the momentum just starts to build. We have this idea that working for hours and hours without a break is the sign of a hard worker. But really, it's just a fast track to burnout. Your brain's resources get totally drained, your focus disappears, and your productivity just tanks. The Pomodoro Technique is brilliant because it builds rest right into your workflow. Just look at the difference here. When you work without breaks, you end up on the left side of this chart. Your brain gets tired, your concentration drops, your motivation is just gone. But with Pomodoros, those frequent little breaks are like hitting a reset button for your brain. They are absolutely crucial for keeping your mind fresh and your energy levels nice and steady, so you can maintain a high level of focus all day long. And finally, this might be the most profound part of it all. This technique completely changes your relationship with time. Instead of time being this enemy, this deadline that's always chasing you, it becomes your partner. It's structured, it's supportive, it's on your side. Because once you start working in these little 25-minute blocks, you get a much, much better feel for how long things actually take to do. You can look at a big task and think, okay, that's probably a 3 Pomodoro job. This lets you plan your days and weeks with so much more accuracy, and it replaces that horrible, vague anxiety about deadlines with this amazing feeling of being in control.
Okay, so we get the why. Now let's talk about the how. We're gonna go over a few key tips to make sure you really get the most out of this and start seeing those real-world benefits.
And before we jump into the tips, just look at what people who use this say. The goal isn't just to crank out more stuff, it's about how you feel. And people consistently say they feel way less stressed, they build healthier habits, and they get this awesome sense of accomplishment every single day. So, if you want to get these results, here are 4 non-negotiable keys to success. First, make it your own. 25 minutes isn't some magic number. Play with it, find what works for you. Second, those breaks, they're sacred. They're not optional. They're the most important part of the whole thing. Third, plan your day in Pomodoros. It gives you a clear roadmap. And last, you have to protect your focus like a hawk. If someone interrupts you, just make a quick note of it and deal with it on your break. And this right here, this is the feeling that keeps you going. That little satisfying checkmark you give yourself for finishing just 1 Pomodoro. It kind of turns your productivity into a game, and it transforms a scary to-do list into a series of small, easy wins that just build on each other all day.
At the end of the day, that's really the whole point. The Pomodoro Technique is not about turning yourself into some kind of productivity robot that never stops. It's about respecting how your brain actually works so you can do amazing, focused work without killing yourself. It's the definition of working smarter, not harder.
So, I'm gonna leave you with a challenge. Think about that one thing on your list that you've been avoiding. What if you just committed to one single 25-minute focus session on it today? What do you think you could get done? Give it a try. I think you're gonna be pretty surprised.